All right. Good evening, guys. This is Young Link Jr. So, in a narrow ruling, the Supreme Court hands farm workers a union a loss. So, the Supreme Court today, Wednesday, tightened the leash on union representatives, so their ability to organize farm workers in California and elsewhere. So, the issue in this case was California law basically and allows union organizers to enter farms to speak to workers during non-working hours before and after work during lunch for a set number of days each year. And that particular day is like I say they come in and talking to the workers, the farmer workers, about at least 120 days out of the year. Now, according to a 6-3 vote from the nine judges that we have in the Justice Department and the Supreme Court, identical lines, the court ruled that the law enacted nearly 50 years ago after a campaign. Former organizer, you guys don't remember Cesar Chavez. Now, Cesar Chavez, he actually led a lot of strikes. For like a lot of farmer unions and stuff. This basically in the 60s and the 70s when he decided to do that. And so appropriates private land by line organizers go on farm property to actually drop off union support. And, the regulation appropriates a right to physically invade the growers' property. Justice John Roberts wrote for the court conservative majority. So the access regulation amounts to simple appropriation of private property. So this was a huge blow to the very existence of the Farm Workers Union. However, the ruling stopped short of impending other laws that allow government officials to enter private property to inspect and enforce health safety rules, restaurants, toxic chemical sites, and making sure that crops are together. And what I kind of relate this to, if you work a 9 to 5, or especially like a big corporation or a hospital or anything, a lot of it have unions. And my grandmother was part of a union as well, and they pretty much like a legal representation for the workers, man. They actually so you want to get butt messed up, what I'm saying, from the organization, and you have the ability to plead your case and different things that can legally represent you if like your manager or CEO or somebody is trying to put some dirt on your name, even though you're a hard worker. Because at the end of the and then you have to do certain things and stuff like that, like, fall into meetings and stuff. So it can sometimes be in a distraction. But if you want some type of job security, a union may be a good fit. At least you can kind of fight for what you believe in a way. And because a lot of people, they, work in sometimes in unsanitary conditions. So, this was kind of really interesting though here, that with the Supreme Court ruling. This in 2018. The court hamstring public sector unions' effort to raise money for collective bargaining. Now, in that decision, the court by 5-4 vote overturned a 40-year precedent that had allowed unions to collect limited fair share in fees from workers. Yeah, of course. Yep, you got to pay the fees. Fees from workers not in the union, but who benefited from the terms of the contract that the union negotiated. Exactly. So, according to this, too, Mike Fonner, he was one of the union organizers. He said he was a farmer. In 2015, his farmer, and he said one of the union organizers came up to his farm around 5 a.m. one morning without a notice and harassing his workers with bullhorns. So, in their point of view, they look like, listen, man, this is a violation of our Fifth Amendment here. You can't just have people just coming here and trespassing us and, going to private property. Like, this has to be protected. And, they kind of have every right to, to say that. But at the same time, too, do you want your workers to actually have a fair share? Do you want your workers to go ahead and, and be comfortable where they're working at the end of the day, man? So, I can see how unions can be like an antagonist to, to a lot of workers, because now they looking like, okay, now you paying on these fees here, and then on top of that, too, maybe my workers might be persuaded not to work as hard with me or try to, give me some, try to go against me, because now they may think they had the upper hand. So, this was a really huge Supreme Court ruling. So they said running for the court's 3 liberals, Justin Stephen Breyer, said the access to the case was temporary and so did not constitute a taking under the law. So the rule he wrote is not functionally equivalent to the classic taken in which government directly appropriates private property or ousts the owner from his domain. In my view, the majority's conclusion threatens to make many ordinary forms of regulation unusually complex or impractical. So the court decision could be disastrous for unions in general, but especially those that represent low-income workers. Yep. Exactly. So the growers asserted that unions should have no problem organizing workers in the area of the internet, but many of the workers at Cedar Point don't own smartphones and don't have internet access. So what's more, many speak English, indigenous languages, and live scattered throughout the area in motels and labor camps. Yeah. So and then they working out in the field. So I mean, they don't have in California, they don't really have no type of union representation. It's that's a downer, for a lot of people who actually need like a union or some type of support system, that can actually advocate, good health, or, they've been, treated or mistreated, from their corporation or their job. So, yeah, man. So I just thought this was an interesting thing what the Supreme Court did on the decision here. So I want you guys' thoughts on this. I'm gonna actually put the link in the article here. Thank you everybody for subscribing to the channel, man. I'm continuously here to deliver the news. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I appreciate every single support. It's the fastest growing channel in the world. Really enjoy you guys, man. I really enjoy putting out content here. So you guys take care. God bless.